Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. I am Siti Zulfah. In here I will give some explanation about review from the film The Woman in the Window. Yeah, based on the novel by A.G. Finn, The Woman in the Window will hit Netflix on May 14, 2021. Yeah, Annie Fox is a woman from New York who suffers from the anxiety disorder agoraphobia. He decided not to leave the house anymore because he felt there was no safer place than his apartment. In order to get rid of her loneliness, Anna spent a lot of time surfing in the internet, drinking wine, and watching people pass through the window. As she sat in her house, Anna watched her family in house number 207 draw her Nikon camera. The author showed the extreme nature of her praying habit by mentioning Anna's use of a camera. Anna's encounter with her tenant showed her desperation and logic for the affection of a feeling sorry for herself as she acknowledged that she has stopped making herself look beautiful and presentable. She mentioned weight gain and wrinkles as body features that could have resulted in David's lack of interest in her. This communicated to the audience the deplorable state in which Anna was in after the death of Ed and Olivia. The author described how Anna learned about the identity of her new neighbor after looking them up on social media platform. They are Alistair and Jane Russell, together with their son Eden. They are a new family in Anna's neighborhood, and also described her other neighbor. She described the Millers, the Currys, the Texas, and the Weisserman. The author then of family is represented by this depiction. In her description, Anna also highlights the type of house they live in, how the neighbor has changed. As Anna tells her therapist about the new neighbor, she claimed never to have heard the name Jane Russell. Anna has a close relationship with the therapist. Her physical therapist narrates her sexual escape to Anna and encouraged her to start dating again. In this section, the author explained to the audience why the woman in the window never goes outdoors. Anna described that her fear for the author is a psychological problem for which she has been medicated. She described her condition as agoraphobia, fear of being outside the house, open space. From her computer message platform, it is evident that she is part of a group of people who share the same fear. To show the severity of her condition, the author stated that Anna has never been out of her house for about 10 months. This long-term social withdrawal and her psychology expertise make Anna to be a good advisor to others members of the Agora site individuals struggling with the same fear. Her username, the Doctor Reason, makes her an approachable person for guiding those undergoing depression. The author appeals to the ethos of the audience in this section so that they become sympathetic of Anna's condition. The author gives a flashback of Anna playing chess with Jane. She is melancholic because she lost Jane. As she recalls the murder, she looks to the Russell house but fails to see anyone. As Anna sits in a library, she opens her computer and chats away with Lizzie. Lizzie tells Anna about her son and her deceased husband. When she describes her husband as a good father, Anna thinks about Alistair and shudders. She had initially thought of Alistair as a good father before he became her front suspect. When Lizzie described the role that her husband, Richard, played in the house, Anna suggests that she find other people to complete the task. She guides the old lady on how to find suitable helper for this errand. Anna is delighted that she gets to help Lizzie. She is, however, disappointed that she could not finish the narration of the snow-capped mountain with her family to the old lady. Continues the narration of Anna about how she came to be a stranger with her husband. Anna described how she drove her family through the snowfall. Olivia was in the back seat upset that her parents would separate. To explain the reason for the separation, the author used a flashback. Anna and her husband had attended a party at which Anna and declined numerous phone calls from a man. Even as they drove the snow, the same man repeatedly called her phone. Since Anna did not want to answer the phone, Ed picked it and tried to reserve the call. Anna hits the phone from his arms to prevent this. The phone dropped down and she tried to pick up it. She lost control of the car. The car skid off the road and into a gorge. Anna and her family had been involved in an accident. The chapter, and in suspense size, the readers are left wondering whether Anna's family would survive this ordeal. The author still leaves the audience in suspense when he failed to continue with the narration of the accident. Instead, he highlights the awkward relationship between Anna and her tenant. David visits Anna and is apologetic for overreacting when he found her snooping in his room. He also tells Anna that he had been jailed for assault as they drink Merlot together. He admits that he has no temper, a trait that had made him get imprisoned after a fight in a bar. David offers to fix Anna, saying that was leaking. As David goes to the bedroom, Anna complains, telling David about Jane and the Russell House accident. In this instant, the author shows the audience that Anna has short-term memory loss because she had forgotten that she had already inquired about Jane. Eden, taken aback by this, he admitted that the woman in the photo was his biological mother. Eden said that he had been adopted when he was 5 because his mother was a drug addict. He explained that the reason that they moved to Anna's street was to get away from his biological mother who had stalked them. He also reveals that Alistair had lost his job because of an affair with a wife of one of his colleagues. Despite moving to New City, Edan's mother tracked down the Russell family and follows them there. On Halloween, she met up with Edan when both Jane and Alistair have left town. Edan informed Anna that Katie had rescued her after her collapse. He reveals that Katie had found her unconscious as he was heading to the Russell house. Katie assumed the identity of Jane Russell to ensure that nobody else found out who she was. Anna appreciated why Katie had pretended to be Jane. Eden also tells Anna that Katie had spent that night with David. Explain Katie a ring that Anna had found in this house. Eden the proceed to shed light on the murder incident. Katie had returned to confines Alistair and Jen to allow her occasional visit to Eden. Alistair threatened to call the police on her and grab her throat. She screamed loudly, and Anna heard her from her house. Nevertheless, Katie is relentless and refuses Alistair home to find Jane Russell. Eden admits that Jane stabbed Katie because she threatened to take Eden away. To hide her body, Katie was later buried in their other house. Alistair was confident that Anna would be discredited as a witness to the murder because she was a habitual drunkard and never got out of the house. Given this revelation, Anna suggests that they report this to Detective Little immediately. However, Eden is empathic of his parents and asks Anna to allow them to report the incident to the police on their own accord. Eden then leaves Anna's house. The author twists the narrative when Eden appears at Anna's house and incriminates himself. He gets into Anna's bedroom in the middle of the night. He admits that he is a psychopath and that he killed Katie because she couldn't leave him alone. After killing her, Alistair had asked Eden to hide the body because he did not want his son to be jailed. Eden discloses that he lied to Anna to shut her up and her inquisitiveness. Eden says that he has always been fascinated by old women like Anna. In fact, this results in an altercation that cost Alistair his job. Eden has visited one of Alistair's outlaw colleges at night. This contradicts Eden's initial narrative where he had attributed Alistair's job loss to his infidelity. Since Anna had been relentless in her search for the truth, Eden intended to kill her using a letter opener. Moreover, he admits that he has occasionally gained access to her house using a copy of her case. Eden confessed that he was attracted to Anna. He said he could get enough of her, so he would pretend to be gloomy to get her attention. Eden's admission of guilt makes Anna feel remorseful for aiding Alistair. She realizes that Alistair had only tried to protect her from Eden. I would want him spending time with a grown woman, says Finn. In this section, the author depicts a terrifying scan whereby the protagonist's life is danger. Eden threatens to kill Anna and make it look like a suicide. Fearing for the worst, Anna fights back as she tries to escape from Eden. This chapter is the climax of the author's narrative. Anna must struggle to survive so that she can prove that Eden was culpable. Anna's brawl with Eden. She kicks him and runs out of the room while Eden follows in pursuit. Anna hides in one of the rooms as Eden searches for her. The readers are left in an apprehensive state. The author depicts Eden as a dubious character that tries to murder the protagonist. Despite hiding, Eden finds Anna. She, however, managed to shove him and run to the nearest exit, the rooftop. Anna must overcome her fear of the altar by climbing the roof. The authors show Anna as a bold character when she gets on the roof despite being agoraphobic. Eden joins her there and tries to kill her. Although she fights back, he physically overwhelms her. Just as he is about to kill her, Anna tries to persuade him against it. She tells him that Katie told her the identity of his biological father. As she describes him, Eden loses focus for a moment. Anna rushes to embrace him to imply that she felt sorry for him. It was, however, a tactical move that Anna intended to use. She wanted to direct Eden to the glass skylight so that she would push him onto the delicate glass and move him closer to the skylight as they hugged and shoved him toward the glass. Eden falls on the glass with a thud. The skylight disintegrates and Eden falls through the glass. The nasty fall kills him instantly. The author's depiction of Eden's death highlights a form of poetic justice. The antagonist, Eden, fails in his attempt to kill Anna. Instead, he is sprawled in a pool of blood beneath the skylight. The author indicates that Anna was justified in killing Eden. She did it for her own protection, and then they scanned the rooftop and called the police. The mystery murder has been unraveled. Moreover, Anna has proved that the murder scan that she witnessed was real. It is satirical that Anna's habit of preying on her neighbor had been useful in solving the murder. 6 weeks after the incident, Anna preys on her neighbor in the snow. The author indicates that he still continues with her habit of her watching her neighbor from her window. Anna also has new hobby of reading books. As she watched her neighbor, she staged the Russell house is up for sale. The couple had moved after an incident. The author highlights the anticlimax of the plot. Anna stops drinking and follows her medication. The detectives are apologetic for failing to believe her initially, and Anna rejoins Agora to assist other patients. Okay, in the final chapter of the book show a happy ending. The tone in this section is optimistic. The author indicates that Anna has come to terms with the death of Ed and Olivia. In addition, she has ended her alcoholism. The conflict of the narrative and resolve around Anna's condition is resolved when she can finally step outside onto the snow cover of her roof. The author show that there is hope for Anna. Okay, I feel this film is so thrill and enough. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.